Hello everyone, my name is David and today I will be presenting on behalf of Team Golden on our organizational change initiative. About the initiative, the example that we chose to talk about for our project is Media Lab Arts. This is a marketing agency for Apple and they proposed the Return to Work Change Initiative. There are three key initiatives in this return to work approach. They offered the hybrid return to office. That's basically allowing employees to work at home for 3 days and returning to the office for 2 days. Another initiative they proposed is the Work from Anywhere weeks. Think of this as like a vacation, crewing for a PTO vacation. The organization allows the employees to work anywhere for up to 2 weeks. And the third change initiative was identifying the permanent remote roles. This is essentially identifying the types of jobs and roles that are acceptable to work from home. Talking about the key goals out of this change initiative was number one, to reestablish the workplace culture. Because employees were working fully remote for the past 2 or 3 years, the culture in terms of collaboration and productivity has changed. As a result, they wanted to have employees come back to work and help reestablish this workplace culture. With that said, this would help foster collaboration and productivity within the organization. And last but not least, they wanted to continue to build the relationship with their clients, especially with Apple being one of their primary marketing agencies. However, with this change initiative, the organization had encountered some hurdles. One of them is employee pushback. Some employees, they didn't want to return back to work. They felt that remote work was right for them. There were also employees who had relocated to different states or countries or even cities, and as a result, it was not viable for them to return back to the work physically. Lastly, another obstacle the organization faced was the resource issues. When employees had returned back to work, the resources in terms of office workspace, IT equipment, connectivity was not ready, and as a result, employees felt frustrated about working effectively because of this change initiative. A little bit about the change initiative proposed by the organization. After 2 weeks of implementing the change initiative of the hybrid return to work approach, leadership had sent out an email company-wide, and in that email they had said a quote, "Take a moment to remember, everything is a pilot." And in their message, they were essentially trying to convey that the hybrid approach would remain in effect. However, they also promised that they would continue to reevaluate the initiative and their plans as needed. The hybrid model proposed by the organization is still new. It's only been a few weeks. However, the safety concerns have lessened. They had also experienced less IT issues, and also employees are continuing to return back to work. Some key lessons learned about the change initiative observed of the organization is number one, readiness. When leadership wants employees to return back to work to foster workplace culture, productivity, and also collaboration, they need to ensure that the office space is ready, the equipment, the connectivity is all ready for employees, as opposed to employees having to come to work and things are not ready and they feel frustrated because this change initiative is not ready. Another key lesson learned was gaining support. Leadership team could have improved their change initiative by enrolling key adopters of the change so that these key adopters could lead the change and influence their network in the organization. Last but not least, the timing. That is another important key lesson learned, because when you're implementing a change initiative, you need to be aware of what is the best time for implementing this change. When they implemented this change, it was at the end of 2022. That's when COVID was starting to subside. The cases were declining. However, there were still employees who were concerned about their health. As a result, being aware of the timing would have been effective in the outcome of this change initiative. Perhaps leadership could have implemented and proposed this change initiative after the COVID cases had fully subsided. Some key advices we propose for Media Lab Arts leadership and also any other organization going through a change initiative is: number one, establishing a sense of urgency. And that essentially means just tying the change initiative to some type of external threat that the organization is facing. For example, we would tie that the fully remote framework is not viable to the organization's competitiveness in delivering these marketing services. And as a result, if they wanted to continue building their relationship with Apple, they need to consider Apple's business top of mind. Moreover, we propose that the leadership become aware of the timing of this change initiative. For example, proposing this initiative after the COVID cases had fully subsided. Secondly, we also propose organizations to develop a guiding coalition, essentially key supporters and adopters who are willing to work together to foster change and lead change from individual level and within their networks. In our case, Media Lab Arts leadership team could have partnered closely with IT and make sure that they lead the change in terms of the physical workplace environment, making sure that the equipment and workspaces are ready for employees. By developing a group of key supporters who are committed to the change initiative, we can further build momentum in leading this change initiative. Lastly, we advise organizations to anchor change by tying the change efforts to the organizational values. For example, how has this change initiative been sustaining the organization's mission, vision, and values? In our case, we would propose how the initiative have fostered the collaboration, the workplace culture, and also the productivity of the organization, so that employees understand their successes and understand the short-term wins. Thank you for your time.